This is my 2010 Mazda 3 hatchback. And, like many of its kind, it has developed a problem. That is, the rear wing of the vehicle is loose. Now, the rear wing on these cars is effectively a giant piece of plastic. If you grab it and put a load on it, you try to bend it, you'll feel it gently give beneath your force. This, however, is different. When I was washing the car, I noticed that you could apply pressure on it and it was completely loose. It was free. You could bend it back and forth and you could feel the point at which you had reached the end of the bolt and it grabbed hold again and you couldn't move it anymore. So, how to fix this? This is apparently a common problem. It is not difficult to fix. All you have to do, open the rear hatch. Underneath the rear hatch, you will see two black plugs on either side of the inside of the hatch. The wing is attached with a pair of bolts. The bolts come from the wing, they go through the shell of the car, and they have nuts on the inside skin of the hatch that runs up those bolts and clamps the wing to the outside skin of the car. Now, the hatch is basically two pieces of metal. There's an outside skin and an inside skin. When you pop these black plastic plugs out, there's a hole which will allow you to look through the inner skin, and you can see the bolt and the nut that hold the wing to the outer skin. This is important. It's kind of hard to take pictures of, but in this hole you'll see the bolt. The problem is that the nut is quite a ways up that bolt. I believe the nut on this bolt is 10 millimeters, but if you don't have a deep well socket, you won't be able to get the socket on over the extension of the bolt that comes past the nut. The best thing to do is to get a wrench or a pair of pliers or something else that you can get through this access hole in the inner skin and use it to grab the faces of the nut. This way you can ignore the extra bolt length that's sticking out. A note of caution, absolutely be very, very careful to not round off the corners of this nut. This is a rather inconvenient location in the car, and rounding these corners off would be very, very bad because you'd have no way to tighten it up or loosen it in the event you needed to get the wing off the car for some other kind of maintenance or repair. There are two sides. Tighten the nuts on each one, put the caps back in, and that's it. As long as you're careful to not round off the nut when you're tightening it, you should have no problems doing this yourself. It's very easy. It doesn't require complex tools. It can be done in about 5 minutes.